The Tide Child. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I decided to make another video. It's January 2024 and Ryan and I have been going over our finances recently and decided that this year we do need to make kind of a change just to figure some stuff out, and that means I really have to get my book buying under control. I think that the best way to really get into my head that I need to stop buying books and read the books that I have is to count all of my unread physical books in my home. I'm so scared to do this, guys. One, this is gonna take so long, I already know. And then two, I'm nervous. I wanna show you guys real quick. So I've got, as you can see, all the shelves behind me here. This is a 7x4, like there's 7 down and 4 across. I'm gonna carry the tripod around for a second. There's these brown shelves down here. There are my black shelves. There are the other white shelves over there. And then like out there I have like my classics shelf. And then I have a book cart of all of the end of the alphabet and books that haven't been put on the shelves yet in the next room over. So I have a decent number of shelves and books. I've never counted before how many books I own, but I want to guess it's around 600. And if I were to guess how many of those are currently unread, maybe 420. That's gonna be my guess. This is just gonna be a speed round. I'm just gonna show you each book. You can pause, you can fast forward through it, just to see what I have unread, and you can let me know in the comments below what you think I should read next. I'm not gonna be tracking how many books it is as we go because that's insane. I'll just tally it up at the end in editing, but why don't we just get started? The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. A Little Hatred by Joe Abercrombie. Age of Ash by Daniel Abraham. Tonight I Burn by Catherine J. Adams. The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. The Future by Naomi Alderman. Full Immersion by Gemma Amor. The Lost War by Justin Lee Anderson. The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. The Assassin of Grins and Secrets by K.E. Andrews. Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aiko. Voice of War and Stones of Light by Zach Argyle. Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. Hemlock Island by Kelly Armstrong. Red Queen, Realm Breaker, and Blade Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. The Keeper of Night by Kylie Lee Baker. Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldry. In Blood and Duty Bound by Aaron S. Bales. The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon. The Huntsman's War by Bennett Barkley. Ninth House and Hellbent by Lee Bardugo. Gods of the Wordwood by R.J. Barker. The Other Side of Mrs. Wood by Lucy Barker. Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Aaron Barnhill. The Jinbot of Shantyport by Samit Basu. The Red Stained Wings and the Stone in the Skull by Elizabeth Bear. Forestborn by Elaine Audrey Becker. The Chronicar by Steve Ballinger. Shorefall by Robert Jackson Bennett. Book of Night, Cruel Prince, and Tithe by Holly Black. To Shape a Dragon's Breath by Mona Cole Blackgoose. A Broken Blade and a Shadow Crown by Melissa Blair. Frostblood by Ellie Blake. Alone with You in the Ether and One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. Firekeeper's Daughter and Warrior Girl on Earth by Angeline Booley. Lore by Alexander Bracken. A Natural History of Dragons and the Tropic of Serpents by Murray Brennan. The Desert Prince by Peter V. Brett. The Child Thief and Slewfoot by Brom. Morning Star by Pierce Brown. All the Blood We Share and You Let Me In by Camilla Bruce. Between Two Fires by Christopher Buehlman. The Sad Tale of the Brothers Grossbart by Jesse Bullington. Kin by Keelan Patrick Burke. The Parable of the Sour and Wild Seed by Octavia E. Butler. Hollow Kingdom by Kira Jane Buxton. The Fall and of Blood and Fire by Ryan Cahill. The New Achilles by Christian Cameron. The Hacienda and the Vampires of El Norte by Isabella Cañas. Thief's Magic by Trudy Canavan. The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. The Obsidian Tower and the Quicksilver Court by Marissa Caruso. Mary and Awakening of Terror and Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. The City of Brass and the Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. Shanghai Immortal by A.Y. Chow. Blackwater Sister by Zen Cho. The Never Ending End of the World by Anne Christie. Desert Creatures by Kay Chronister. The Art of Prophecy and the Art of Destiny by Wesley Chu. The Never Tilting World by Rin Chapico. The Hollows by Daniel Church. The Night and Its Moon and the Sun and Its Shade by Piper C.J. Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. The Unbroken and the Faithless by C.L. Clark. Master of Jinn by P. Djeli Clark. Our Lady of the Ice by Cassandra Rose Clark. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell and Piranesi by Susanna Clark. Scarlet by Genevieve Cogman. The Armored Saint and the Queen of Crows by Mike Cole. High Fire by Ian Colfer. The Lighthouse Witches by C.J. Cook. Pirate Latitudes by Michael Crichton. The Troop and the Deep by Nick Cutter. Obsidian by Sarah J. Daly. The Bladed Faith by David Dalglish. House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. Forest of a Thousand Lanterns and the Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix by Julie C. Dow. The Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. Boatman's Daughter and the Hollow Kind by Andy Davidson. Her Majesty's Royal Coven and and the Shadow Casket by Juno Dawson, The Book Eaters by Sun Yi Dean, Traitor's Blade by Sebastian D. Castell, The Hollow Ones by Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan, The Traitor Bear Cormorant by Seth Dickinson, Benko by Sherry Demelin, The Fangs of War by E.J. Doble, Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Dewar, Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan, The Song of Steel and the Fire of the Fallen by J.C. Duncan, Twin Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Weber, Bloody Rose by Nicholas Eames, Final Strife by Sarah El Arifi, Servant Mage by Kate Elliott, This Is How You Lose a Time War by Amal El Motar and Max Gladstone, The Daughters of Istahar by Hadir Elsbai, A Half-Built Garden by Ruthanna Emrys, Notorious Sorcerer by Davinia Evans, Empire of Exiles by Aaron M. Evans, We Hunt the Flame and We Free the Stars by Hafsa Faisal, Blood Scion by Deborah Fillet, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett, A Boy and His Dog at the End of the World by C.A. Fletcher, The Armor of Light and the Evening and the Morning by Ken Follett, Grey Bastards by Jonathan French, Let Him In by William Friend, Just Like Home and the Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey, Once Upon a Broken Heart and the Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber, One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig, All Hollows by Christopher Golden and Blood of the Four by Christopher Golden and Tim Leben, Foul Lady Fortune and Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong, The Weaver and the Witch Queen by Genevieve Gornichek, All the Stars and Teeth, All the Tides of Fate and Belladonna by Adeline Grace, Lady Hotspur by Tessa Grattan, Red Rabbit by Alex Grecian, The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin, Hilled by Nicola Griffith, The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon, The Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynn, The Library of the Unwritten by A.J. Hackworth, The Apollo Murders by Chris Hadfield, Map's Edge by David Hare, Master of Poisons by Andrea Hairston, Border Keeper and Second Spear by Kirsten Hall, In the House in the Dark of the Woods by Laird Hunt, The Mirror Empire and Empire Ascendant by Cameron Hurley, What the River Knows by Isabella Banez, Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro, Stillborn by Daniel T. Jackson, Ringlander by Michael S. Jackson, These Burning Stars by Bethany Jacobs, Black Leopard, Red Wolf and Moon Witch Spider King by Marlon James, Bullet Swallower by Elizabeth Gonzalez James, Day Boy and the Stone Road by Trent Jameson, The Lights of Prague by Nicole Jarvis, The City We Became and Fifth Season by N.K. Jameson, The Bridge Kingdom and Traitor Queen by Danielle L. Jensen, The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez, The Kingdom of Sweets by Erica Johansson, The Traitor God and God of Broken Things by Cameron Johnston, Essex Dogs by Dan Jones, Fate of the Fallen by Kel Cade, The Hunger by Alma Katsu, Morgan Is My Name by Sophie Keach, The Dead Take the A-Train by Cassandra Kaw and Richard Kadri, Illuminations and A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher, The Dark Forest by Sijin Liu, Seven Faceless Saints by M.K. Lobb, Darkwater Daughter by H.M. Long, The Helm of Midnight by Marina Lostetter, Year of the Reaper by Macchia Lucier, So This Is Ever After by F.T. Lukens, Sign Here by Claudia Lux, Ruin of Kings and the Name of All Things by Jen Lyons, Scorpica and Arca by G.R. McAllister, Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Meyer, Bird Box by Josh Mallerman, A Court of Thorns and Roses and Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas, Taken the Damned and Son of the Poison Rose by Jonathan Mabry, The Manor House by Jilly McMillan, The Witches of Moonshine Manor by Bianca Moraes, Crown for Cold Silver by Alex Marshall, A Memory Called Empire and A Desolation Called Peace by Arcady Martin, Seven Deaths of an Empire by G.R. Matthews, Ocean's Echo by Everina Maxwell, All the Dead Lie Down by Kyrie McCauley, A Promise of Blood and In the Shadow of Lightning by Brian McClellan, Blackwing, Daughter of Red Winter and Traitor of Red Winter by Ed McDonald, Ledge by Stacey McEwen, Priest of Bones and Priest of Lies by Peter McLean, The Familiars by Stacey Hall, Swashbucklers by Dan Hanks, The Gutter Prayer by Gareth Hanrahan, Unraveler by Francis Hardinge, A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, 10,000 Doors of January, Starling House and The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow, Wayward by Amelia Hart, The Jacid Air by Sarah Hashem, Stoneblind and A Thousand Ships by Natalie Haynes, Cloisters by Katie Hayes, Descendant of the Crane by Joan He, The Dwarves by Marcus Heights, Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver, Pluto Shine by Lucy Kissick, The Deep Sky by Yumi Katase, The Devil and Webster by Jean Hamp Korelitz, Ghost Talkers by Mary Robinette Cowell, Nevernight by J. Christoph, Babel and Yellowface by R.F. Kwong, Among Thieves by M.J. Kuhn, Upon a Frosted Star by M.A. Kuzniar, Sun in the Void by Gabriela Romero Lacruz, Dragonfall and Goldilocks by Laura Lamb, The Unspoken Name by A.K. Larkwood, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson, Beholder by Ryan LaSala, The Ballad of Black Tom and Lone Women by Victor Laval, The Book of Gothel by Mary McMine, Psyche and Eros by Luna McNamara, The Maidens and the Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro, The Ones We Burn by Rebecca Mix, The Magic Fix by Mark Montanaro, Elric of Melnibone by Michael Moorcock, Wild Massive by Scott O'Moore, Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, A Touch of Jen by Beth Morgan, The Steel Remains by Richard Morgan, The Starless Sea by Aaron Morgenstern, The Final Girl Support Group and My Best Friend's Exorcism by Greedy Hendricks, Near the Bone, Horseman and Alice by Christina Henry, Ten Low and Hell's 8 by Stark Holborn, Keeper of Enchanted Rooms by Charlie M. Holmberg, Northern Wrath by Tilda Cold Holt, The Wisteria Society for Lady Scoundrels and the League of Gentlemen Witches by India Holton, Bone Roots by Gabriella Houston, Across the Sand by Hugh Howey, Water Outlaws by S.L. Wong, Into the Broken Lands by Tanya Huff, Folklorn by Angela Mi Young Her, The Words of Kings and Prophets by Shauna Lawless, The Book That Wouldn't Burn and Red Sister by Mark Lawrence, Ancillary Justice and Ancillary Mercy by Anne Leckie, Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu, Mayfly by C.J. Lead, Reborn and Anastasia by Claire Legrand. The Given Day by Dennis Lehane. The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. The First Sister by Lyndon A. Lewis. Six Crimson Cranes, The Dragon's Promise, Spin the Dawn and Unravel the Dusk by Elizabeth Lim. If You Could See the Sun by Anne Liang. Nocturna and Occulta by Maya Moitain. Cat Who Saved Books by Sosuke Natsukawa. The Last Song Before Night by Alana C. Meyer. Revelation by Donna J. W. Monroe. The Night House by Joe Nesbo. A History of What Comes Next and Until the Last of Me by Sylvain Nouvelle. Ithaca by Claire North. Uprooted, Spinning Silver, A Deadly Education and The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik. Housewoman by Adora Nora. Blighted Stars by Megan O'Keefe. Noor by Nnedi Okorafor. The Merciful Crow and Painted Devils by Margaret Owen. Forged by Blood by Ehigbor Okasun. Son of the Storm by Suyi Davies Okungboa. Beasts Made of Night and Crown of Thunder by Tochi Onyebuchi. Damned by Chuck Palahniuk. The Phlebotomist by Chris Panetier. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars and Fractal Noise by Christopher Paolini. He Who Drowned the World by Shelley Parker Chan. Kakai by Vaishnavi Patel. Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Zodiac Academy by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. Darkblade Assassin and Child of the Night Guild by Andy Pelican. The London Xanth Society by Sarah Penner. Sweet Black Waves by Christina Perez. Night Watch by Jane Ann Phillips. Straight Razor Cure by Daniel Polanski. Wrath Becomes Her by Aidan Polidoros. Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power. Bone Swift by Nikki Palpreto. Bone Crier's Moon by Catherine Purdy. Follow Me to Ground by Sue Rainsford. Womb by Duncan Ralston. The Ivory Key by Akshaya Ryman. Edenville by Sam Reveline. The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reed. Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. Ruination by Anthony Reynolds. Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. Fevered Star and Tread of Angels by Rebecca Roanhorse. Red Mars by Kim Stanley Robinson. The Stars Undying by Emery Robin. Darkroom Etiquette by Robin Rowe. Lovecraft Country by Matt Ruff. The Black Song, The Wolf's Call, The Legion of Flame, and The Waking Fire by Anthony Ryan. The Cradle of Ice by James Rollins. The Sisters of the Winterwood by Rena Rossner. The Nine Eyes of Lucian by Madeleine Roux. A Taste of Gold and Iron by Alexander Rowland. Skyward and Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. Home Before Dark, The House Across the Lake, and The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Ariadne, Electra, and Atalanta by Jennifer Saint. The Claw of Craving by Joseph Sale. Last Star Burning by Caitlin Sangster. Bridge of Souls, Gallant, and The Near Witch by V.E. Schwab. Half Stick of Shadows by Laura Sebastian. The Winter Road and Brother Red by Adrian Selby. We Are the Dead by Mike Shackle. In the Ravenous Dark by A.M. Strickland. The Dawn Hounds by Sasha Stronach. Jasmine Throne and the Oleander Sword by Tasha Suri. The Bone Season, The Prior of the Orange Tree, and A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. The Watchers by A.M. Shine. City in the Dragon's Eye by Jordan Loyal Short. The African Samurai by Craig Shreve. A Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth. Scavenge the Stars by Tara Sim. Court of Broken Knives by Anna Smith Spark. Silk and Song by Dana Stabenow. Phaedra by Laura Shepperson. Baby Teeth by Zoe Stage. The Luminous Dead by Caitlin Starling. The Empire's Ruin by Brian Stavely. Godblind and Dark Soul by Anna Stevens. Anathem by Neil Stevenson. Camp Zero by Michelle Min Sterling. The Glass Hotel and Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan. House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. Walk the Vanished Earth by Aaron Swan. Justice of Kings and Tyranny of Faith by Richard Swan. The Dreamer by Jean Swan. Stormblood and Blind Space by Jeremy Zoll. An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. Jade Fire Gold by June C. L. Tan. The Force Alone by Lavi Tidhar. Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh. Looped by Jennifer Thorne. Can't Spell Treason Without Tea by Rebecca Thorne. Children of Time, Empire in Black and Gold, and City of Last Chances by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Daughter of the Moon Goddess and Heart of the Sun Warrior by Sue Lin Tan. The Secret History and the Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. The Phoenix King by Aparna Verma. Crier's War by Nina Varela. Born and Dead Astronauts by Jeff Vandermeer. Crossbones by Kimberly Vale. The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. Lonely Castle in the Mirror by Mizuki Sujimura. Inkblood Sister Scribe by Emma Torsch. Sophie and the Bone Song by Adrian Tooley. Secret Keeper Lore of the Blood by Edward Tome. First Binding by R.R. Verdi. The Wolf of Orinyaro by K.S. Veloso. Unnatural Magic by C.M. Wagoner. Lent by Joe Walton. The Sword of Kagan by M.L. Wang. Sundial, Looking Glass Sound, and Little Eve by Catriona Ward. Legacy of Ash, Legacy of Steel, and The Darkness Before Them by Matthew Ward. The Golem and the Genie by Helene Wecker. The Black Prism and Night Angel Nemesis by Brent Weeks. The Last Blade Priest by W.P. Wiles. For the Wolf, For the Throne, and the Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. Zone 1 by Colson Whitehead. Hyde by Kirsten White. August Kitco and the Mechas from Space by Alex White. City of Bones and Witch King by Martha Wells. Paradise 1 by David Wellington. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Words of Radiance, Oathbringer, and Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. The Martyr and the Traitor by Anthony Ryan. The Five Angel Warrior series by Brian Lee Durfee. Murtagh by Christopher Paolini. Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. The Lycanius Trilogy by James Islington. Valor, Ruin, Wrath, A Time of Dread, A Time of Blood, and A Time of Courage by John Gwynne. A Dance with Fate and A Song of Flight by Juliette Marillier. The Dragonbone Chair, The Stone of Farewell, and Green Angel Tower Part 1 and 2 by Tad Williams. Into the Narrow Dark by Tad Williams. The God King Chronicles by Mike Brooks. The Blade Itself, Before They Are Hanged, and The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. Red Seas Under Red Skies and the Republic of Thieves by Scott Lynch. The Providence of Fire and the Last Mortal Bond by Brian Stavely. The Bone Shard Emperor and the Bone Shard War by Andrea Stewart. The Reborn Empire series by Devin Madsen. The Phoenix Empress and the Warrior Moon by K. J. Arsenault Rivera. The Tide Child Trilogy by R.J. Barker. The Dragon Republic and the Burning God by R.F. Kuang. Temple of No God and Barrow of Winter by H.M. Long. The Atlas Six, The Atlas Paradox, and the Atlas Complex by Olivia Blake. The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. Harrow the Ninth and Nona the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. The Salvager series by Alex White. The Story of Evil Saga by Tony Johnson. The Arc of a Scythe series by Neil Shusterman. The Expanse books 1, 2, and 3 by James S.A. Corey. Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. The Traitor's Kiss series by Aaron Beattie. The Dinosaur Princess and the Dinosaur Knights by Victor Milan. A Dark Queen Rises and the Blind King's Wrath by Ashok K. Banker. Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. Burn the Negative and the Shadow Glass by Josh Winning. The Fires of Vengeance by Evan Winter. Wendy Darling by A.C. Wise. Bring Me Their Hearts and Find Me Their Bones by Sarah Wolfe. The Ember Blade by Chris Wooding. The Keep Within by J.L. Warad. The Hunters by David Ragg. White Horse by Erica T. Worth. Fourth Wing and Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. Sky in the Deep, Spells for Forgetting, and the Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. The Collar Bound by Rebecca Zahabi. Blood Air and Song of Silver Flame Like Night by Emily Wen Zhao. And last, I think, Iron Widow and Zachary Ying and the Dragon Emperor by Ziran J. Zhao. I just stay down here for my outro. Okay. Wow, that took me a long time to count all my books. I did not do it all in one day. And I actually just skipped my like classics shelf, which does include a lot of the Lord of the Rings like lore books, as well as some really old priceless books like Tale of Two Cities that I'm not going to read because it's very fragile. I have a King Arthur book that I'm not going to read because it is falling apart, and just kind of things that I never had an intention of reading, but I did collect them as a collector's item. Otherwise, as far as I know, I have now counted all of the books I intended to read. I actually have an anthology shelf. It's just one shelf across that I was going to include in the video, but we've been moving a lot of stuff around. Like this thing is brand new right now, and my anthology shelf is pinned behind something, so I can't get the books off of it, but I'll count them after and add them to my total. So, plus this many. I have no idea how many books that was. It feels like 1,000, but it also feels like 50. I'm gonna put the final number up on the screen right now. That's my final number. I think my guess, which was a few days ago now because I filmed this in 2 parts, I think my guess was 420 because I thought it was funny. How did I do? Going through all of my books, I actually pulled a few off the shelves that I'm going to be unhauling that I didn't even want to include in the video because I'm getting rid of them, so they are not part of the number. There were about 10 books that I'm going to unhaul after today, but honestly this was really fun because I found a lot of books that I just like forgot about that I'm excited to add to my TBR this year and get to reading. One more thing before I go. My previous video was a little bit controversial. It was my Harry Potter video, and I just wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone who gave me some really nice comments, some really reassuring messages, making me feel good about myself, about my opinions, and making me know that I'm not alone. I also appreciate all the people that reached out with links to further information on the topic, and you should go check out the comment section of the last video. I'll pin a few comments at the top that have particularly important information in them. I also had some people reach out with contradicting opinions to mine, and we had some great conversations. So thanks again guys for being so involved and being a community with me. I really appreciate it. And then back to this video, I'm gonna do my best to not buy that many books this year. I'm definitely gonna be buying the big ones that are coming out. That's just happening. But I'm not gonna just like be going crazy. I am trying to save money. I'm going on a big vacation in a month, and yeah, that's it. Before I go, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell icon so you know when I upload new videos. I upload 2 days a week. I love you guys. Goodbye.